Hello everyone, we have some great news today. What was the relationship between Kate and Elizabeth II? Hidden moments and interesting facts. Kate Middleton's funeral is thought out to the smallest detail, as her loving husband, the Prince of England, prepares for his wife's death. Kate Middleton's photo, which provoked an international conflict. Kate Middleton's sister Pippa paves the way for animal welfare on her farm. All this lies ahead, but for now, let's start with what Kate and Elizabeth II's relationship was like. Hidden moments and interesting facts. As a newcomer to the royal family, drawn into the pomp and ceremony of the monarchy, the young Kate Middleton often sought support from the late Queen. Over time, they developed, according to Richard Kay of the Daily Mail, a grandmother-like bond. Kate once called Her Majesty a gentle guide. As Kate transformed from Prince William's university sweetheart to the Princess of Wales and future Queen consort, her relationship with the late Queen became even brighter. In the Channel 5 documentary, Kate and the Queen, A Special Relationship, Mr. Kay, the editor-in-chief of the Daily Mail, described how the late Queen gradually came to trust Kate. He added, "I don't think she really trusted anyone at first sight. We're all in the same show. The show supports the Queen." But things went much deeper between Kate and the Queen, and there was a real grandmother's affection between them. Ingrid Seward, royal expert and editor of Majesty magazine, echoed his words. "I think the Queen saw the strength in her and saw that she was a caring person with an amazing dedication to duty. I think Kate would really appreciate the kindness and attention the Queen has shown her, and she knows better than anyone how busy the Queen is. She took the time to make Kate feel appreciated." Kate is believed to have strengthened her bond with the late monarch after the birth of her 3 children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, and has worked hard to involve Her late Majesty in the children's lives. It is reported that their relationship became stronger after William and Kate decided to settle in Kensington Palace, which is within walking distance of Buckingham Palace. It is said that the couple even often met for afternoon tea. But most of all, it seems that it was the late Queen's ability to find common ground with Kate that she appreciated during her transition from a commoner to a princess. You might expect a lot of greatness and a lot of fuss, but actually what really resonates with me is her love for simple things. And I think it's a special quality, the Princess of Wales said earlier. Here, the Daily Mail recalls the 10 most touching moments that Kate and her grandmother shared with her mother-in-law. 1. A touching goodbye kiss. When the royal family reunited publicly at Windsor Castle for the first time since the pandemic, all eyes were on the firm to see how they would interact after such a tumultuous 9 months. After a short Christmas tour of the UK, Kate and Prince William met with the late Queen, as well as Charles, Camilla, Prince Edward, Sophie of Wessex, and the Princess Royal and the Princess Royal. As the evening drew to a close and the Queen began to ascend to the castle, William could be heard gently calling out to the monarch, "Bye, Grandma." Then, demonstrating her close bond, Kate makes a curtsy and then, saying goodbye, blows a kiss to her beloved grandmother. 2. Just the two of us, their first joint performance outside the walls of the palace in 7 years. In 2019, Kate and the late Queen, who was 92 at the time, took to the stage together for the first time in many years. They visited King's College London to reopen the Bush House building, which is a Category 2 architectural monument. The couple felt incredibly comfortable in each other's company and even shared a blue blanket in the back seat of the car upon arrival. According to tradition, despite the fact that Kate was closest to getting out of the car, she allowed the Queen to do so. Etiquette expert William Hanson previously told the Daily Mail that throughout the long-awaited meeting, Kate followed the royal charter to the letter, as usual. He added, "Interestingly, Kate was wearing a more subdued gray dress, which at times blended into the surroundings, allowing the Queen to stand out and be the center of attention." While we are learning interesting details about the warm relationship between Kate Middleton and Elizabeth II, I remind you that there is great news ahead. 3. Couldn't help laughing during a Diamond Jubilee visit. During a children's sports event held in Nottingham in 2012 as part of a nationwide tour celebrating the late Queen's Diamond Jubilee, Kate and the monarch burst into incredible laughter. Her Majesty holds out both hands in response to something that just happened, while Kate looks at it with a radiant smile and laughs. Backstage, William stood on the field in front of his grandmother and his wife, intending to fire the starting pistol to start the race. However, he was quickly surrounded by an excited crowd, and William looked perplexed at the late Queen, who then burst into laughter and spread her arms in a sign of humility. 4. A heartfelt, handmade Christmas gift. When Kate first agreed to spend Christmas with the late Queen at Sandringham with William and his family in 2011, she faced an incredible challenge. What should I give the Queen for Christmas? Like many newlyweds, Kate faced the challenge of choosing gifts for her new relatives, including the late monarch. So the princess settled on a thoughtful gift inspired by her own grandparents. Kate decided to use her grandmother's chutney recipe and make a homemade jar for the Queen. And the late monarch seemed very grateful for the gift because, as Kate said, the very next day it was on her dining table. Recalling this moment, Kate herself said, "I remember the first time I was at Sandringham for Christmas and I didn't know what to give the Queen. I thought, God, what should I give her? I thought, I'll cook her something, which could have ended terribly badly. But I decided to cook the chutney according to my grandmother's recipe. The next day, I noticed that it was on the table. Such a simple gesture meant so much to me." A clear indication of their blossoming friendship as Kate joined the firm was that they were photographed hugging each other upon arrival at the Christmas service at Sandringham. 5. Private viewing of a wedding dress. Just a few months after her wedding to William, Kate's £250,000 Alexander McQueen wedding dress, designed by Sarah Burton, was on display as part of a private exhibition at Buckingham Palace. The ivory dress with a satin bodice, lace sleeves, and small thigh pads was hand-sewn by the world's best seamstresses at the Royal School of Needlework using Carrick-Macross craftsmanship. And in a true manifestation of the nascent relationship developing between the reigning monarch, he took a walk with the princess. According to royal biographer Andrew Morton, the Queen, delighted by the happy marriage, said that on Kate and William's wedding day, she practically jumped. She had a feeling that the future of the royal family, her family, was safe now. The monarchy was once again in the admiration and affection of the masses. 6. 3 generations of women. When Kate and William announced the arrival of a baby girl, Princess Charlotte, to the royal family, no one could have been happier than the late Queen. Indeed, Kate was thought to have become even closer to the late monarch by welcoming all 3 of her children, although the monarch was said to be really excited about the prospect of a new young princess joining the family. Speaking in the documentary The Queen at 90 in 2016, Kate said, "It's very important for us to have a new little girl in the family. George is very lucky to have a younger sister. The Queen was very happy that it was a little girl, and I think as soon as we returned here to Kensington Palace, she was one of our first guests here. I think she loves Charlotte very much, always watching what she does. George is only 2.5 years old, and he calls her Gan-Gan. She always leaves some little gift or something in their room when we go to visit them, and I think it just shows her love for her family." 7. A joint visit that helped Kate get some more tips. In March 2012, Kate embarked on a solo trip without her new husband, visiting Leicester with the late Queen to begin their UK tour as part of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebrations. In 2016, Kate called the engagement the most memorable, adding that she was quite worried about her husband's absence. Reflecting on the role of the late Queen during this touching engagement, the princess added, "She was very supportive of me. The fact that she took the time to make sure I was happy and took care of me at that particular moment, which is probably a very small element in everything she does, just shows how caring she is." Royal correspondent India McTaggart said, "Catherine said the Queen was very supportive when she attended her events for the first time without William. I think she influenced her by setting an example for her." 8. All the royal ladies have an impeccable resemblance in their clothes. When the late couturier Sir Norman Hartnell remarked that the Queen and the Queen Mother do not want to be trendsetters, he summed up the monarch's attitude to fashion. "It's left to other people with less important jobs," he added. "Their clothes should not be of sensational elegance. This is the lesson Kate stood for. When she appeared on the cover of Vogue in June 2016 for her first fashion photo shoot, she ditched designer dresses in favor of country-inspired casual wear. The late queen was thrifty. She grew up in wartime and belonged to a generation that learned how to make do with little and fix clothes. It is known that she had to collect food stamps for her wedding dress and often recycle her wardrobe. She handed over her inherited belongings to the senior staff. Kate also exchanges clothes and accessories with her sister Pippa, such as the Catherine Hooker coat she wore to the launch of the Royal Lebanese Navy Institute lifeboat in Anglesey in 2011, which Pippa was seen wearing later that year at the wedding of Benjamin and Georgina Fitzherbert. The Princess of Wales also follows Her Majesty's recommendations in choosing colors, often choosing color combinations in a rainbow of clothes. 9. Precious jewelry with love. After the Queen's death in September 2022, Kate sought to preserve the memory of her beloved monarch, often wearing jewelry previously owned by the late monarch. At last year's National Memorial Service, she chose the Bahrain pearl pendant earrings that the late monarch wore in her first portrait, painted by Dorothy Wilding in 1952, and remained her integral piece of jewelry throughout her reign. And at Prince Philip's funeral in April 2021, the princess was a model of majestic grace, dressed in Her Majesty's jewels. Paying a touching tribute to the late monarch, she wore the Queen's pearl necklace from Her Majesty's personal collection at the Windsor ceremony. Similarly, during the coronation of King Charles in May 2023, Kate appeared for the first time in an official portrait from the ceremony, wearing a George VI diamond necklace. This spectacular necklace, consisting of 3 strands of graduated cut stones, was worn by the late Queen throughout her reign. The Queen, a mother of 3, wore a pearl necklace and earrings that once belonged to Her Majesty during the funeral of the late Duchess of Kent in September. 10. A beaming smile when Kate looks at the late Queen as a beacon guiding her on the right path.
Throughout the Queen's long reign, Kate often beamed, as if admiring her impeccable work ethic and dedication to duty. As the longest reigning monarch in British history, Kate seemed eager to learn as much as possible from a woman who knew more about royal life and protocol than anyone else. Moreover, according to royal expert Victoria Murphy, Kate has always called the late Queen an indispensable source of gentle guidance. She added, "From the very beginning, Kate had much more in common with Elizabeth personally. They have something in common that gives them inner poise and the ability to lead and command respect." Pointing to their unique bond, royal correspondent Katie Nicholl, author of The New Royals, The Legacy of Queen Elizabeth and the Future of the Crown, noted that the late Queen provided the princess with tremendous support and became a source of help even before she married Prince Elizabeth II. In an interview with OK, the expert said that Her Majesty provided her personal office and maid of honor to Kate before the royal wedding, so that she could get acquainted with the inner way of royal life. The author noted, this meant that Kate could personally talk to them about what it was like to be a member of the royal family and how to behave. And she accepted this offer and tried to benefit from this experience. They really had a good relationship. Mentoring was part of that relationship, and the Queen could pass on her advice, her values, and guidance. And now we come to the main news for today, but the next news is also no less wonderful, so watch to the end. Kate Middleton's funeral is thought out to the smallest detail, as her loving husband, the Prince of England, prepares for his wife's death. Even the richest, most famous, and most successful people are not immune from sudden illness or an accident. The alarming events of 2024 for the British royal family, when Kate Middleton had to fight cancer, forced her loved ones to think about what would happen if everything began to develop according to the worst-case scenario. For this reason, a special plan has been developed. It describes the funeral arrangements in case of Kate's death. A terrible diagnosis. As you know, the Princess of Wales faced difficult challenges in 2024. It all started out quite innocuously. Kate was hospitalized to undergo elective abdominal surgery. But then something went wrong. Doctors found a tumor. Treatment was started immediately. The best British doctors were involved. The courses of chemotherapy followed one after another. It was necessary to stop the growth of cancer cells at all costs. And she did it. Kate has overcome a terrible disease. Of course, not only her family was worried about the princess, but the whole country was watching the treatment with bated breath. And British citizens breathed a sigh of relief when, in early 2025, the royal court officially announced that Prince William's wife was in remission. Funeral plan. As soon as Kate's illness became known, a plan called Reading Bridge was developed immediately, as prescribed by royal rules in case of the princess's death. However, almost nothing is known about the details of the protocol today. It is a secret document. But in general, Bertrand Decker, the royal observer, told about it. The protocol outlines the responsibilities of each member of the royal family, from King Charles III to Prince William and their children. In addition, the document defines the procedure for communicating with the press and the procedure for announcing mourning news to citizens of the country. Prince William has proved his love. The name Reading Bridge is a tribute to the princess. Reading is the city in which she was born. But that's not all. The abbreviation of the full name of the plan, ORB, completely copies the name of one of the pearls located in St. Peter's Tower in Berkshire. They make such a decision only in extreme cases, when there is reason to doubt the authenticity of the image. I just wanted to improve the picture. As the media storm gained momentum, Kate Middleton herself broke the silence. In a short statement, she admitted that she had indeed edited the photo a bit. Like many photography enthusiasts, I sometimes experiment with processing. I apologize for the confusion caused by our family photo. The words sounded soft, but they had no effect. On the contrary, they added fuel to the fire. If the princess is really feeling so bad that she can't appear in public, why would she post an old or altered photo? The internet literally exploded with guesses. Why did she disappear from sight? After abdominal surgery, Kate has not been seen in public for several months. Official statements from Kensington Palace said that the operation was planned and the recovery period would take some time. However, the absence of any photos or videos of the princess has generated an avalanche of rumors. The most improbable versions were discussed online, from severe recurrence of the disease to unsuccessful plastic surgery. Some tabloids claimed that Middleton had fallen into a coma, while others wrote about possible mental difficulties. None of these rumors have been confirmed, but public concern has only grown. Secret cadres and new questions. A little later, photos appeared online of Kate riding in a car with her mother, Carol Middleton. The princess looked tired, and the pictures raised even more questions. Many noted that she looked paler than usual, and her expression was tense. Some journalists suggested that the photos could have been taken earlier than in recent days to create the illusion of activity. The palace did not comment, limiting itself to the standard phrase about the recovery period. What is the palace hiding? Sources at the royal court claim that there is no reason to panic and the princess is feeling well. However, constant contradictions in statements, deleted photos, and rare public appearances add fuel to the fire. Rumors reach the point of absurdity. Kate allegedly donated an organ to Charles III, suffered a nervous breakdown, or even left the country. None of this has been officially confirmed, but the popular imagination is running non-stop. When will Kate be back? It was expected that the princess would return to her duties at one of the upcoming official events. However, according to sources, doctors recommend that she take her time. Now she spends time with the children, recovers, and avoids stress. The royal court has not announced an exact date for when Middleton will appear in public again, and this is perhaps the main factor that keeps the public on edge. So what really happened? Is there a mistake in Photoshop, an unsuccessful attempt to hide the traces of the disease, or the usual desire to show the perfect frame which turned against the princess herself? Kate Middleton's sister Pippa is paving the way for animal welfare at her £1.5 million Bucklebury farm. It was often described as Prince George's favorite farm, and the young member of the royal family regularly visited it with his mother, Kate Middleton, to pet the animals. But now, Bucklebury Farm, acquired by Kate's sister Pippa for £1.5 million in 2020, has made groundbreaking changes to its approach to animal welfare.
Previously, George, like other children, could keep rabbits, guinea pigs, and baby goats, but now it is prohibited after the Association and the Rabbit Protection Fund, RAF, appealed to the farm for additional animal protection. A testament to the unwavering commitment of Pippa and her husband James Matthews to animal welfare is the fact that of the 573 farms contacted, Buckleberry Farm was the only one that took action almost immediately. To put an end to any contact with the 9 rabbits from the public, they also invested in new rabbit enclosures. Now the animals decide for themselves whether they want to communicate with visitors and not the other way around. The sprawling 72-acre farm also strives to educate its potentially irritated visitors about the animals' needs. In particular, it helps them better understand that a motionless rabbit usually freezes in fear, rather than relaxing from human touch. Sharing this news, RAF praised the farm's decision to gradually phase out petting sessions and create a more animal welfare-oriented atmosphere. The charity also announced its intention to work with the farm to develop new standards of well-being in farm parks to help other farm parks as well as rabbit owners realize the need for better protection of animals when petting them. Sharing this news, RAWF praised the farm's decision to gradually phase out petting sessions and create a more animal welfare-oriented atmosphere. The charity also announced its intention to work with the farm to develop new standards of well-being in farm parks to help other farm parks as well as rabbit owners realize the need for better protection of animals when petting them. Sharing this news, RAWF praised the farm's decision to gradually phase out petting sessions and create a more animal welfare-oriented atmosphere. The charity also announced its intention to work with the farm to develop new standards of well-being in farm parks to help other farm parks as well as rabbit owners realize the need for better protection of animals when petting them. Oliver Shute, managing director of Buckleberry Farm, praised the new changes, adding, "It's not just about allowing visitors to see the animals, but also about showing what real animal welfare should look like. Rabbits are often misunderstood and kept in rooms that don't meet their needs, so we pride ourselves on setting an example by putting their well-being first." The farm is located in the heart of the Berkshire countryside, where a wedding tractor was brought in 2010 to celebrate the wedding of Prince William and Kate. The farm is just a stone's throw from the Princess of Wales house. The farm has a 44-acre deer park, a soft playground, a place to socialize with animals, office space, and a cafe. There are also rustic-style glamping tents where families can stay, heated only by a wood-burning stove without electricity and Wi-Fi. And last year, Pippa and her billionaire James, the owner of a hedge fund, even opened a venue for parties, events, and Pilates classes here. He added, Carol Middleton was deeply upset by the collapse of her mail-order business, Party Pieces, which went bankrupt last year. Fortunately, her family didn't give up partying. Buckleberry Farm confirmed the details of the plans on Instagram and shared photos of the cabin. The caption to the photo read, "We are very pleased to announce that you can now book the lodge only from 9 to 17 for birthday parties, corporate events, yoga, Pilates classes, and more." And as the holiday months approach, this business-minded couple has even developed plans for the Christmas holidays. A Santa Claus grotto will appear on the farm, where festive dreams come true. But despite the success of the sprawling enterprise, Pippa and James have been criticized in recent months after they announced their plans to open a kindergarten on the farm earlier this year. While the management of the road service expressed concerns that the construction of rural nurseries would lead to an exponential increase in traffic, Richard said that the couple had received the go-ahead to open a kindergarten on the farm, which, according to the council, would bring significant social benefits, given the local shortage of places for younger children. In March, road managers said that the idea of building a kindergarten in rural areas would lead to an excessive number of cars. Expressing serious concerns, they recommended rejecting these plans. The Department of Highways at West Berkshire Council said, "A nursery, day center, or kindergarten could be used on this site much more efficiently, possibly on a daily basis, with all staff, children, and visitors traveling to it by private vehicles. The proposed additional class of use would result in an unacceptable increase in the number of vehicles in this unstable location. Meanwhile, local councilor Christopher Reed, a Buckleberry district representative, was so taken with the controversial proposal that he even canceled it, bringing it up for discussion by the Planning Committee of West Berkshire Council. However, the complaints did not seem to stop the council. Pippa and James, whose brother is reality TV star Spencer Matthews, were given permission to provide more help to their parents during the school holidays. It seems that following in her sister's footsteps, the upcoming opening of the Pippa Center is closely linked to Kate's early childhood program, a project that she calls her life's work and strives to have a positive impact on children during their formative years. The Princess of Wales is committed to helping the youngest members of society through the Royal Foundation's Early Childhood Center, which aims to create a more caring society through increased research and campaigning. It is reported that 500,000 young people have been involved in the project over the past year alone, and 8 large companies have joined the task force, which began work in 2023 with the aim of supporting families and creating a happier and healthier lifestyle.